All right, welcome to this explainer. Today we're cracking open what feels like a highly classified psychological dossier on the modern world. We're setting aside the polite fiction society feeds us to examine a dark, undeniably intense reality of human behavior. It's a reality that governs our interactions, our successes, and honestly, our absolute deepest feelings of isolation. We're looking at the stark truth of human value.
Because here is the visceral, painful truth of the modern world. Nobody cares when you're struggling. Your pain, your invisible battles, your quiet desperation, they just go completely unnoticed.
In this state of invisibility, your digital life just mirrors your physical isolation. You send out signals into the void, but nobody checks your messages. You're permanently left unseen. It's a cold, calculated silence. People walk right past you. They literally look right through you. In the busy, relentless hum of the city, not a single person stops their momentum to reach out. Nobody asks if you're okay. You are basically a ghost in the machine.
Okay, let's dive into this. The isolation we just described is profound, but something absolutely radical happens the moment you acquire value. The entire dynamic flips. It's not a gradual shift. It is an instant, violent change in how the universe responds to your existence. Suddenly, you're seen. Suddenly, you matter.
Section 1, Legacy Logic, the Hidden Economy. To understand why this happens, we have to look at the underlying architecture of society.
Think of this as the blueprints to a machine you never knew you were living inside. This concept completely shatters the comforting illusions we've been sold since childhood. The hidden economy of human value is a system where individuals are weighed and rewarded based on their utility, status, and power rather than their inherent humanity. It's like a giant invisible scale, and it's weighing you every single second of every single day.
We face this ultimate contradiction, right? Society feeds us flashing motivational slogans, the idea that everyone matters equally, that just being you is enough, but reality operates differently. The wealthy, the successful, the powerful, they get the world's attention, while those without leverage are entirely ignored. Point blank, the world rewards value.
So, what are the actual currencies in this hidden economy? Well, they're the cold, calculated metrics of modern power. Usefulness, status, money, influence, power. These are the literal gears running the giant machine.
And here is the brutal consequence of that. If you don't possess these 5 metrics, if you can't provide utility, you just fade into a transparent silhouette. Without value, you are invisible. That is exactly why struggling feels so incredibly lonely. Because to the hidden economy, you simply don't exist.
Section 2, Results over Potential. Which brings us to exactly how the modern world actually measures you. It's a system completely devoid of sentimentality.
What's really interesting about this is how completely society dismisses your internal experience, your exhausted efforts, your grand potential, your very valid excuses and emotional speeches. They float away, completely ignored. The machine only rewards raw results and leverage.
Think of it like a massive stadium. The crowd doesn't cheer for how hard the team practiced or how sad they are about losing. The world reacts to a changing scoreboard. If you aren't putting points on the board, the crowd is silent.
And man, this is the trap so many fall into. It's a terrifying cycle. Just think about your own social media feeds. Deep, vulnerable cries for help often get crickets, while flashy life updates get massive applause. Most people spend years screaming into the digital void, hoping to be validated by a system that is literally designed not to care about their feelings. They spend all their energy begging to be noticed, instead of becoming impossible to ignore. That is the fundamental mindset shift required to survive this system. You must become a glowing, undeniable force entering the room.
Section 3, The Illusion of Care. But what happens when you finally achieve this? What happens when you do put points on the board? The psychological twist here is dark, and it reveals the ultimate illusion of human connection in the modern hierarchy. Because the moment you become a person of high value, a psychological switch flips in the minds of everyone around you. It isn't gradual. Value changes human behavior instantly. That invisible figure suddenly glows, and the crowd surges forward.
Let's move to how this builds, because the momentum is undeniable. Step 1. The messages flood your phone as friends miraculously return. Step 2. Doors fly open as opportunities rapidly appear. Step 3. Handshakes firm up and heads nod as respect exponentially increases.
And this right here reveals the darkest hypocrisy of it all. You're the exact same person. You have the exact same quirks, the same jokes, the same stories. But suddenly, your previously ignored personality becomes fascinating. You're admired for the very traits they used to overlook.
But the absolute truth beneath those smiling, admiring faces is this: they never cared about you. Those smiling faces glitch and reveal the cold, mechanical truth. They didn't come back for your soul. They came back for the gravity of your success. They cared about the value you could provide to them. Whether it's access to your network, a piece of your status, or the glow of your money, it was never about you. It was always about the utility. Section 4. Stop chasing, build leverage. Now, understanding this shouldn't break you. It should absolutely liberate you. Once you see the strings controlling the puppets, you can finally stop acting like one. You can step out of the illusion.
So the crucial point is understanding the ultimate divide. The loser's game is chasing attention, begging for validation from a crowd that only respects power. The winner's game is walking away from the crowd and quietly, methodically building leverage.
The reason we analyze these intense concepts, exposing hidden systems, modern psychology, and the unforgiving logic of power, is because willful ignorance is dangerous. You literally cannot win a game if you refuse to acknowledge the rules. And the rule of this world is leverage. So, as we close this explainer, I want to leave you with one final, permanently altering thought to carry with you today. Stop asking why they don't see you and start asking yourself this: will you become useful enough that the world ignores you at its own risk?